In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you are in or getting into preparation mode for 2025. The energy of 2025 is already here. It significantly arrived with the new moon in Scorpio that we had on November 1st. And so this energy is already pushing at us, towards us, building this pressure. I'm not sure if you can feel that, but it is definitely palpable. And this is preparation energy. Like, I feel this really significant time of preparation, needing to prepare ourselves for 2025, because things are going to very rapidly, very unexpectedly shift in 2025. And I'm also feeling like this sort of amplification and speeding up of energy. So there is this speeding up of manifestation. There's this speeding up of things coming into your life. There is this speeding up of things very rapidly changing, very unexpectedly changing in our lives. And so I was getting this really strong message from Spirit the other day about how incredibly important it is right now to be in preparation mode. And I think many of you who have found this video are already in preparation mode. That's why you're here. So I want to just kind of get into what this preparation mode really looks like, what it's about, what the purpose is, and just break it down a little bit so that you can get a really clear understanding of what you're moving through right now. Because preparation mode comes with certain symptoms. It comes with certain ways of feeling. Like it's definitely bringing up a lot of different feelings within myself that I've noticed. It's bringing up a lot of energy and a lot of attention to how we're living life on a daily basis. So there's a lot of things that we need to be aware of during preparation time. So I want to get into all of that. But just before we get into all of that, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Kata. I'm a highly intuitive self-mastery life coach and energy healer. I help and support people on their journey of ascension, on their journey of awakening, and how to navigate the ascension process, because it is a process that I have moved through significantly, and it's something that I can provide a lot of insight about. So if you are interested in some coaching, or if you need some guidance at this time, my information will be in the description box below. You can check that out. Now let's talk about this preparation mode here, because like I said, we are preparing for a very significant shift, a very significant time. As a matter of fact, there has already been a very significant shift that has taken place, especially with this last Scorpio new moon. And because this significant shift has taken place, it is now up to us to align with that shift, to recognize what is truly happening, because there's a lot happening, and there's a lot of physical upgrading that we have actually already moved through. The energies, the solar flares, all of the massive action and movement in the cosmos that have been taking place recently are literally triggering our DNA. It's literally moving our bodies up to higher resonance, to higher frequencies. Of course, it can only move you to the maximum capacity that you can allow, the maximum capacity that you are currently at in terms of your level of consciousness. So even though the physical vessel, even though our bodies have been receiving this massive upgrade, the consciousness is still moving through, like it's still upgrading. And so what is happening now, and the message that I was really getting from Spirit, is that what we have to begin to really, really focus on right now is ourselves, and getting ourselves back into alignment in preparation for 2025. And what I mean by getting back into alignment is, think of it this way, okay? Think of your body as your physical vessel. This is the hardware, right? The body is the hardware. Now, the software that is running, which is the programs of your mind, the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, that is your software. So it's like the hardware actually got an upgrade, literally, with the amount of light photons coming in and all the different frequencies that have been coming in. That has been creating our physical vessels to kind of start vibrating at a faster rate. But in order for this physical vessel to be able to maintain that frequency, to be able to hold that frequency, the consciousness, the software also has to be upgraded. So it is extremely important, I cannot emphasize how important this is right now, to really, really focus on positive outcomes for yourself, for your life, to have clarity around what kind of positive outcomes you want to experience, what kind of a year you want to have in 2025, what kind of an upgrade within your life do you want to experience in 2025, because it's the software part that is now needing massive recalibration and updating. And in some cases, and for some of you, including myself, I can feel that my body, because it has gone through an upgrade, it is also requiring me to treat my body differently. So there's this coming together of how we consider health, or what we consider health. And it is no longer just about sort of the physical, but it's also about all aspects of the self. So there's this coming together, this merging of recognizing how all aspects of the self are extremely important to take care of in order for harmony and balance and peace to be at our core, to be grounded within us. So this means that you can't continue running old programs when you've got new hardware, when you've got new software wanting to come in. The preparation itself is about releasing old software, releasing old programs, releasing old thoughts, old patterns, old habits that are not in alignment with this preparation mode, that are not in alignment with the future self, the 2025 self that you are now already evolving into and moving into. So you really may be feeling intuitively called at this time. You might feel just this internal nudge within yourself to make some really big changes in your life. And if you're feeling that, if you're having this calling within yourself, then really tune into that. Don't ignore that, because this new moon initiated this brand new cycle of becoming hyper aware of what isn't working, what is working, what you're ready to move into, what you're ready to let go of. So in most cases, in order to prepare for 2025, you're probably going to need to change your daily routine or schedule. You're probably going to need to change your approach to yourself, change your attitude towards yourself. Start looking at your entire life completely different. Start looking at your daily routines, your daily habits completely different. Weed out, pluck out all the habits or all the routines that take you nowhere, that serve nothing, serve no purpose, and have no positive benefit or result. And then integrate new things into your life that are going to help you adapt, help you align more with what you truly want, what you truly desire at this time. And when it comes to this, I really, really want to encourage you to trust yourself, trust your own intuition. You don't need to listen to me. You don't need to listen to anybody. First and foremost, please listen to yourself. Listen to those intuitive nudges. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to where it's guiding you, because if you start to quiet your mind and if you settle your ego and calm your ego the F down, you're really going to start hearing those messages. They're going to be there. They're always there. It's just that our ego pushes them aside or silences them. And so oftentimes you won't hear it. But it's extremely important right now to trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust your feelings, trust those nudges, whatever nudges you're getting, wherever it's pointing you to or whatever it is pointing you towards. Trust that, and really moving into this space of surrender, this space of detachment, this space of absolute trust within yourself, trusting in the divine, trusting in the flow, your own flow, right? All of this is so important right now, because the more you do that, the more you tap in and the more you really start to listen to what your body is saying to you, to what your heart is saying to you, to what your feelings are saying to you and where they're guiding you and what they're asking of you, the more you listen, the more revelation you're going to get, the more understanding of yourself you are going to receive, the more you're going to know what serves you, what doesn't serve you, what's for you, what's not for you. You're just going to know. And it's going to be such a cool unfolding. Like, you're going to really just get to experience yourself in this beautiful way where you unfold like really naturally, really authentically, really organically, and it's not forced. And that's actually the next point I want to talk about is forcing things is out. That energy is out. We can no longer force anything because it completely goes against us. It goes against the divine flow. It's like you're no longer in that flow down the river. Forcing something is when you're actually trying to paddle up the river. That's not going to work out. It's going to get you nowhere fast and you're going to burn yourself out. Trying to push through things doesn't necessarily work anymore either. It depends on what it is. For example, me doing my daily exercises right now and pushing through some of those challenging ones that I'm just a little bit out of shape for. That's different. That's a good kind of push through. But pushing through, what example do I want to use? Like pushing through stuff that just doesn't feel right, like that you don't even really want to do, that it's like you don't even really want to be participating in it, but you're pushing yourself through. That's not going to work. That energy is dead and gone. So just an FYI. And the more you try to push something or force something that is coming from this place of either fear or lack or not enough, or coming from this place of like, I have to, or I better, because if I don't, this and this and this will happen. That kind of forcing is going to really backfire. You're just going to notice it's not going to work out in the way that you hoped, in the way that you expected. We are in a different energy. We are in a different timeline now already. And like I said, old school ways of doing things is not going to work. Not the ego old school ways of doing things and how the ego used to force and push us to do stuff that we never wanted to do. And I'll talk about work in just a moment about that too, because like I said, we are already in a new energy system, whether we are aware of it or not, whether you are aware of it or not, we are already in an upgraded crystalline grid. So the planet itself is in already quite a developed phase of this crystalline grid. It is continuously expanding and growing and firming into place is how they're showing me. It's like it's becoming more and more solidified. So as this crystalline grid is continuing to update, continuing to recalibrate the entire planetary life and everyone on it, everything that is upon this planet, it is simultaneously happening to you on the inside. This is simultaneously going on within the mind, it's going on within the consciousness, it's going on within our physical bodies. So we are becoming this lighter, and I keep seeing a lot of like purples, light blues, whites, like there's this really pinks, there's a lot of even yellow or like gold energy. There's just this really, really beautiful, it's actually like a rainbow. Now they're showing me in completeness. It's this rainbow grid or this rainbow energy that is weaving in. I'm seeing like a weaving in to the crystalline grid of the planet. This is also weaving into your DNA. But that's what's happening. That is what's taking place. And so we have to recalibrate ourselves, and we're going to have to put some effort and some work into doing this recalibration. Like I said, in order to prepare for 2025, in order to already begin moving into this energy, embodying it more, grounding it into ourselves more, really pushing it down into our roots, making it our foundation, making it a part of our foundation. There's this very, very intense expansion coming in 2025. So I could totally see, because that's what I just saw, just like everything just opened right up. So there's this massive expansion coming in 2025 that we need to prepare for, that we need to be ready for. That means certain things you got to do different, and you got to start doing it different now. Don't start in January. Ooh, and I'm getting a massive earring on that. Don't start in January. This is a very powerful message for somebody. Start now. Start now. Do not waste any time. Begin already. Move yourself into that higher timeline now. Step into it mentally, physically, consciously. Choose it and step into it and align to it and start acting it out through your daily life, through your routines, your schedule, how you structure your day, what you leave time for, how much time you leave for yourself, making sure that you are restructuring your entire life to match the vibration and the frequency of what is to come, which is massive expansion. This means you're going to have to get stronger physically, you're going to have to get stronger emotionally, you're going to have to get stronger mentally. This means you're going to be cultivating or needing to cultivate more discipline. You're going to be needing to cultivate more focus. Focus is a big one. You're going to have to really, really look at what you're giving your attention to, what you're giving your time to, what you're giving your energy to, or who. These things are going to really matter. They already really, really matter, because we are no longer in an energy where we can entertain anything or anyone that we know is not a part of our journey forward, that we know is not meant to be in our life, that we know is holding us back in some way, or just really not adding, contributing in a positive way. All of that has to go. It just has to go. Whether we like it or not, it has to go. If you want a new life, if you want expansion, if you want growth, if you want to become the best, most badass, most beautiful, most strong, most fit, most whatever version of yourself, there are some sacrifices that are going to need to be made. Are you willing to make those sacrifices? And I'm not saying it's like, work yourself to the bone, kill yourself doing it. I'm saying start small. Start incrementally. Like I shifted my wake up schedule, my wake up time to an earlier time, to leave myself time in the morning. Like there's certain things now where I don't compromise. And compromise actually is the other thing I wanted to talk about is there is no compromise now when it comes to how you care for yourself, when it comes to putting time and effort towards your life goals and the things that are important to you, the things that matter to you. And there are going to be people, there are going to be circumstances and situations that are going to test that within you. Lots of tests are also coming up right now for a lot of us. And those tests are serving one purpose and one purpose only, and that is just for you to see where you're still stuck, where you're still holding back, where there's still remnants of fear in your energy or in your consciousness, where there are still remnants of doubt or shame or not feeling enough or just not feeling like you have something special to contribute to the world. All of that is going to really surface. It's going to come up very, very loudly. So there's going to be this no bullshit energy pushing you to really make some changes, to really improve upon your life. And this isn't about anybody else's life. So even if you're in a committed relationship and that relationship is going through a rocky time right now, then that means that you need to start really, really focusing on yourself. There's something that you fundamentally need to change about your routine, about how you care for yourself or what you do, where you invest your time. You have to really, really look at that and make some serious correction. Look at your attitude, look at your mindset, look at your perspective of yourself, your partner as well. But look at the perspective you have of yourself, because if you're lacking self-love, if you're really in this energy of self-doubt and fear and especially like fear of loss, or you think, you might lose your partner, or there's infidelity or like third party situation, anything, it doesn't matter what's going on. Pull your energy back from all that shit and just focus on yourself. That is the most wonderful thing that you can do for yourself and for your partner. Because when you upgrade this, you significantly shift your energy. You are preparing yourself for the new you. That is what this preparation mode is all about. You are preparing to become the best version of yourself, the newest version of yourself. So, like I said, our bodies are already responding to this energy. And that's a big part of why you might actually even be feeling burnt out. You might be feeling tired. I was super tired yesterday. I could feel that. Like I felt like there was just sort of this heaviness upon me that I couldn't really shake. And it was kind of all consuming throughout the day. And there was a lot of doubt, a lot of different things that were coming up for me yesterday. So I just sat with it. I journaled, I looked at it and just made a very firm decision that that's okay, that it's coming up. That's okay that I feel this way right now. It's giving me massive clarity on what needs to shift and what needs to change. And I just decided, I made a very firm decision that, today was going to be an awesome day. And I made that decision last night before I went to bed. And this morning I got up and I felt absolutely different, absolutely amazing, absolutely back in my power, absolutely just who I really am. That's what I felt. So if you move through these waves of like one day you feel amazing and you feel super empowered, and then the next day all of a sudden, and you don't really know why, because maybe nothing even really happened, you just feel sort of knocked on your ass and you feel like, oh my God, all the self-doubt's coming in, all the fear or whatever. If all of that is resurfacing, it is definitely resurfacing because it's just waves of like energy leaving you. It's leaving your body. It is leaving your consciousness. Don't let your ego like suck you into focusing on how crappy you feel and like making you think that you have fallen back in some way, or that you are not making progress forward, or that you're going backwards instead of forwards, right? Like, don't let your ego feed you stories like that, and don't buy into it when you are having a low day. Instead, really take some time. And this is what I did yesterday. I went down to the lake and I just spent a few moments. It was a beautiful day yesterday, 24 degrees, November 5th, absolutely crazy. But here in Southern Ontario, it's been beautiful. So, I went to the lake and I just gave myself grace, and I gave myself space, and I just allowed myself to sit there, to be, with the feeling. And I really tried not to plug in mentally. I really was holding my position sort of firm of like, no, I'm not falling back. This isn't who I am anymore. And you're going to notice this, like as your old identity is dying, it's like every so often it'll just pop up to the surface and kind of have a little fit and be like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to die. Right. It'll have a little tantrum, but just know that that's all it is. It is simply nothing more. When we are in preparation phase, it's literally nothing more than the old is dying, the old is shedding, the old is leaving, and it is causing a disruption within your system, within the programs that you have been used to. And as those old programs actually begin to shut down because the updated hardware is just like can't even operate that, right? It's like the operation system itself needs a massive recalibration. As all these old programs are shutting down and dying within you, really be sure to, I find just journaling is like the simplest thing. Like I just kind of write out like these are the things I'm done with. These are the things I feel I've outgrown. These are the things that I don't want to entertain anymore. Right. And so writing that stuff down, it's like sort of doing like a mind dump, is going to help to clear that energy out of you faster. Because that's what I notice. As soon as I write it down, it's like I'm done. And then I can move on with my day. It is time to approach life differently. It is time to see that what used to work no longer works. How you used to function, you can no longer function. The things that you used to be okay with, you're no longer okay with. And it's also time to see that in this upgraded system that we are now moving into, more and more into this 5D system, we are manifesting, we'll say manifesting, but I don't particularly want to use that word right now. We are co-creating at like hyper speed very quickly. So it's really important right now to stay very positive, to absolutely take control of your focus, to make sure that it is not being given away or hijacked. Hijacked is the word I really want to use here with focus, because our focus is constantly hijacked, especially by social media or news or really anything media, right? So staying tuned in and being like laser focused on your goals, on your aspirations, on this new version of yourself and the life that this new version of you is living is the key. That's where all of your attention should be going and needs to be going in preparation mode. If you are someone who resonates with this message, if you are someone who feels like you are in preparation mode and you can feel like something big is about to happen, something big is about to change in your life, or something big is about to come into your life, then this message is definitely for you. And this specific message about focus is something that you are meant to hear right now. So like I said, there is this acceleration, this massive speeding up of creation, of how we are creating and how we are co-creating. And because it's speeding up so much, you're going to find yourself not resonating with like the previous 3D energy where hard work and self-sacrifice to get something very minimal or to get results with something that you were okay with in the past, but you're going to notice you're not okay with anymore. It just doesn't work. That energy is done. Like, it's almost like when certain energies expire, and when certain cycles, because that's how energy expires, is a cycle completes. And when a certain cycle completes, what happens is that you're no longer able to continue that cycle, live in the way that you lived in that previous cycle, in the new cycle. You just can't. So while you are in preparation mode, you're being called to live and work differently. You're being called to start making changes, to start preparing, to start making shifts, even if they're smaller shifts, so that you can show up differently. You can live differently. You can experience life itself differently. You can co-create with spirit differently, and so that you can work differently. The most important task during preparation phase before 2025 hits right now is going to be to align with self. Thank you, Blue Jay. To align with self. To align internally, to align our consciousness with our will, with our power, with our heart. So there's this massive internal alignment that I am feeling that is taking place at this time. I can feel it within myself. I can see it in the collective. I feel it in the collective. There's this massive internal realignment taking place for all of us, all of us. And this is so exciting, because when people align to who they truly are, when people start taking off those masks and they start to live authentically from their core, from that beautiful spirit that they have, that spark of light that they have within, when they start to live from that space, that's a completely different vibration. That is a completely different way of life. That is a completely different and brand new and fresh and beautiful and abundant and prosperous way of life that is just going to unfold effortlessly. Like, it's just going to feel effortless. Why? Because you're aligned. Because you're no longer wearing masks. Because you're finally doing what is best for you. Because what is best for you is what is best for others. And that's something a lot of people don't understand. And they think, oh, I'm being selfish. No. When you do from your heart with the right intention, when you do what is best for you, you are doing what is best for everyone else around you. And with this internal alignment, this is about staying very centered, very grounded, very peaceful, very relaxed and calm. That's trust. That's how you embody trust. You're relaxed, you're calm, you're centered, you're grounded, you're at peace. That is internal alignment. That means that you are flowing with the universe. You are co-creating with the universe. You are co-creating because you're completely open to receive when you are relaxed, when you are calm, when you are centered, grounded. It just magnetizes everything you want, everything you desire towards you, because you're in this different space, because you're in this completely different frequency and different vibration. And that is the purpose of this preparation mode between now and December 31st. Whenever this video finds you, whenever it pops up for you, make that your starting point if you haven't started yet, and get moving on it. And just keep your focus on keeping yourself aligned, keeping yourself in the most authentic, in the most real, in the most raw, the most beautiful version of yourself. This is like full surrender to the divine. This is fully trusting the process of life. This is fully trusting your unfolding, trusting the timing of your unfolding. You're not forcing anything. You're not rushing to unfold. You're just unfolding, and you're just allowing and allowing and allowing every single day. And one day you'll wake up and your entire life is going to look completely different. And you're going to be like, whoa, when did this happen? So there's this new way of life emerging on planet Earth right now, right before our eyes. Like, this is crazy. There's literally a brand new approach to life, a new way of life that is unfolding right before our eyes. And that means certain old systems are going to collapse, they're going to crumble, they're going to fall away. And that obviously Think of when a building collapses. It causes a lot of ruckus. It causes rumbling. It causes even the ground to shake in the vicinity of that building, right? So that is normal. That is a part of the process. Like I said, we are in preparation mode, and we are ushering in a brand new timeline, a brand new way of living on Earth, a brand new way of existing individually, collectively. Like, this is happening on all levels through everyone's lives. So life on Earth is now becoming restored. It is now moving back to becoming about living a balanced and abundant life through focusing on ourselves, through making sure that we are aligned, that we are centered, that we are grounded, that we are at peace, that we are relaxed. But the only way that you can get there is through putting yourself first, is to really start prioritizing your spiritual needs, your mental needs, your physical needs, and your emotional needs. And I just want to touch on emotions here real quick. Be mindful that emotionality oftentimes will override logic. And so it's very important right now to make decisions from a non-emotional place. I was getting a really strong, clear, loud message from Spirit about this. Make sure that you are not allowing your emotions to run away with you, in the sense that, like, if you're fearful about something, that fear is just going to completely knock you off path, or that it's going to, where you allow it to completely, frazzle you or shake you or really knock you off track. Don't allow your emotions to override what your intuition is saying, what your heart is saying, because emotionality can be guilt, shame. Those are not effective emotions, and those are not emotions that really serve us in the best and highest way. So you'll feel guilt and shame, and then maybe do something out of guilt and shame for another, for a family member especially. And that's that emotionality I'm talking about, to override that within yourself and take a step back in that moment when you feel like you want to, rush and go and do something for someone because you feel guilty because they asked, and now you feel obligated to. Pause before you say yes or whatever. And if they're asking you on the spot, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, can you just give me whatever? Give me an hour, give me a day or something to think about it. Figure out how much time you need to think about it, but can you just give me some time to think about it? Give yourself permission to pause. Give yourself permission during this preparation phase to pull your energy back and just really feel into, and I'm talking intuitively feeling, not emotionally feeling, but intuitively feeling into what is the best and highest good for you and for everyone involved in that moment when it comes to that situation. So be sure to make more rational choices, more choices from a place of inspiration or from a place of intuition, rather than plugging into or allowing yourself to get carried away with those uppity, I want to call it like ego emotions, because the ego is the one that usually throws tantrums. The ego is the one that's attached to fear. The ego is the one that's always in self-doubt, right? So, and then the ego will produce different emotions based on those energies that it wants to continue playing out. So people-pleasing energy is very rapidly fading out. It is absolutely not sustainable. It is very out of balance. It is very unhealthy to be in that energy. So just keep checking in with yourself during this preparation phase. Am I doing this because it's like a people-pleasing thing because I want them to like me? Am I doing this because I want them to this? I want them to see me in a certain light. I want them to feel a certain way about me, right? Like, what are your intentions? And that's the other thing I quickly want to talk about, is really tap into intention and make sure that whatever you do, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a conversation with a friend, whether it's something you're about to do at work, whether it's cooking a meal, it doesn't matter what it is, tap into the intention first. What is the intention that I have behind this? What is the intention that I want to take this action with? Always be aware of your intention and make sure that those intentions come from a good place, that they come from your heart. And I'm feeling a lot of heart stuff right now as I'm talking about this. So I think there's a lot of ill intention out there in the collective. So like, I think a lot of people, and this could be people, because whoever I'm tuning into right now, this could be people that are like attached to you that don't have the right intention towards you, or, want your time or your energy or your whatever for the wrong intentions. And this could be you yourself not having the correct intention. So you, the viewer, could also be in an energy where you don't have the right intentions for certain things that you do. So address that within yourself. It's okay. It's okay if you don't, but just address that within yourself, recognize it, notice it, and then ask yourself, why? Why do I have this intention? Why do I want to take from someone else while I'm simultaneously pretending to be giving? But really my intention is to take. Just sit with it. I'm not here to judge you. Just sit with it. Think about that. And the very last thing I want to talk about is work. And work is shifting, as I'm sure most of you tuned in can feel that already. So work is now becoming about fulfillment rather than earning a living. Okay. And that's kind of really cool to see unfold, because it's basically showing us that the collective is now leaving behind the whole self-sacrifice type of work for minimal reward. Like, we're leaving this energy behind. This energy actually is fading out. I can still see, it's enmeshed in different parts of the world more heavily than in other parts, but it is definitely collectively beginning to move out. There has been a big movement when it comes to work and how we view work as a collective, how we look at or view abundance and getting. Like, we're no longer interested in earning because we shouldn't have to earn anything, right? We are inherently worthy of it, because this knowing or this information that we are inherently worthy of abundance is becoming infiltrated into our consciousness. It is moving out this old consciousness or this old energy of that self-sacrifice, that suffering, that hard work, that, all those energies that are very low vibrational, that are very heavy. All of that is now clearing out and moving out. So it's like we're all interested in doing, less work for more money, and or more fun work, more fulfilling work for significantly higher compensation, right? And that's a beautiful thing. Who doesn't want that? Sign me up. So this is shifting our priorities and what we deem important, especially when it comes to work. And when it comes to money too, because some people are quite happy to, work less and just live and do like the van life thing or the tiny home thing, right? Like, there's so many examples of how we can honestly choose to live in whatever beautiful way we want to live, whatever way makes us feel good, whatever makes us feel like, it allows balance in our lives. All of it is fair game. Like, you can choose whatever life or lifestyle you want to live. So work is no longer work in the same sense. And because this has shifted, it's really brought our attention and is moving us more. And this preparation phase is so much about recognizing that we are merging all aspects of the self. So this is, you're merging your mind, your body, like your actions, your masculine, your feminine, your receiving, your giving. It's like all of this is merging into this one beautiful, coherent energy within all of us. And as that is happening during this preparation phase, which is why it's so important to help yourself during preparation phase and really, take action on very positive things that are good for you, like eating cleaner, eating healthy, good sleep schedule, good work schedule, balance, right? Balance in all areas. This is so important right now during preparation phase, because there is this merging, there is this coming together of everything. It's like everything is just molding into this one unified energy. And it is creating this like grounded, centered spine. They keep focusing on the spine. So it's probably the Kundalini energy that they're focusing on here, or showing me. It's elevating Kundalini within us. It is like bringing forth this absolute beautiful unfolding. So that's pretty wild. It's pretty cool. We are in a very, very magical time right now. We are in a very highly, highly co-creative time right now. So keep your thoughts and your consciousness aligned to good. Keep your focus on abundance, prosperity, and gratitude for everything that you have experienced up until now, for the preparation mode that you are in, for the new cycle that you are moving into in 2025. Have gratitude for all of that. Keep yourself very centered and aligned. Be tuned in with yourself and be aware of how you are feeling each and every day. Really try your best to honor yourself in each and every given moment, from day to day, even down to hour, and honor and show up according to your truth. And during this time, just keep this in mind, because it's going to be important to keep in mind. Wearing masks is going to burn you out. So if you are feeling tired and burnt out already, it is because there are significant masks falling off. There's a significant shifting and a shedding process that you are moving through. And so you need to honor that. And some days it's going to mean that you're going to need to rest and just give yourself a lot of self-love. And other days it's going to look like being really active, especially physically active, and being highly productive. But just keep in mind that the mask wearing is going to really tire you out. It's going to exhaust you, actually. So it's not something that we can move forward with, because this energy is also now dead and gone. So don't fall into any ego traps of wanting to put any masks on or pretending or being nice. I always say, I hate nice. Don't be nice, be kind. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be authentic, be real. Don't deny your needs, don't deny another's needs, but maintain balance. So that is the message for today. I hope you found this helpful. I hope that if you are moving through this process of transformation and you are in this preparation mode and you resonate with this preparation mode, I really genuinely hope that you give yourself the time that you need. Really stay tuned in, really allow yourself to just move through this process in whatever way you're going to move through it. It doesn't need to look pretty. It doesn't need to look perfect. It just needs to be uniquely yours. This is your journey. This is your train. You are the driver of this train. So make sure that it goes in the way that best serves you. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. Like I said, if you want to book any sessions with me, all the information is in the description box below, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.